Zhou Zhou was feeling the lower limit of the human race's potential in the reincarnation sacred palace. Previously, the potential of the human race had already reached the epic tier advanced grade. Moreover, they only needed 34 more new master gods to officially advance to the lower limit of the legendary tier elementary grade. Today, there were 392 new master god tiers, even though there were only 176 new master god tiers among them. They far satisfied the need for the minimum potential of the human race to advance. As expected, I've already broken through. The lower limit of the human race's potential now is legendary tier intermediate grade. Zhou Zhou was very surprised when he sensed this. How is this the lower limit of the legendary potential? Under normal circumstances, with so many new master god tiers of their race, it was completely enough to raise their potential to the low-tier deity level. This was how the original spirit race, the chaos gods race, and the shepherd's god race were like. However, why was it still only the lower limit of the legendary potential when it came to the humans? All sorts of thoughts flashed through Zhou Zhou's mind. Soon, a look of realization flashed across his face. Then, he shook his head and smiled bitterly. Knew why? The reason why the three top-notch bloodline races could use more than 100 master gods of their own race to raise their potential to the level of a god, spirit, and promote themselves to a top-notch bloodline race was because the lower limit of their initial potential was very high. It was recorded in Zhou Zhou's original spirit race bloodline inheritance. The lowest potential of the oldest and most primitive spirit race members in the world had already reached the epic tier elementary grade. The most primitive clansmen of the Chaos Gods race and the Shepherd's God race had potential that had reached extraordinary tier advanced grade. As for the humans, before Zhou Zhou came, the lower limit of their potential was Black Iron tier elementary grade. It could be said to be the lowest among all races. This was the reason why the human race was evaluated as a mid-low grade bloodline race by the myriad races that as for why they were not the lowest race. It was because some races' citizens could not even reach the lower limit of the Black Iron tier elementary grade's potential, and could not become superhumans in their lives. The high potential starting point of the three top bloodline races also made them not need much master god tier to advance to the god spirit level. For example, the human race needed a total of 50 new master god tiers to advance from the lower limit of the epic tier advanced grade to the lower limit of the legendary tier elementary grade bloodline. However, the original spirit race might only need 20 or even less to advance to the lower limit of the legendary tier elementary grade. It was the same for the Chaos Gods race and Shepherd's God race. It was like a 100-meter race. Humans had to start from the beginning and run 100 meters to reach the finish line. In the end, they had to work themselves to death. As for the three top bloodline races, they stood at the 70 or even 80-meter mark from the beginning. They only needed to run the rest of the way to reach the finish line, and they were not very tired. This was the difference between the two sides. Zhou Zhou did feel a little uncomfortable at first after understanding this. No wonder it was so difficult for the lower limit of human potential to increase. His expression soon returned to calm. Oh, what if it was difficult to improve? Hadn't he already forcefully raised the lower limit of human potential to the legendary level? Now, the lower limit of the human race's potential had been raised to the low-tier deity level elementary grade, and they were only 2 steps away from becoming a top bloodline race. From legendary tier intermediate grade to legendary tier advanced grade. In the end, it advanced to the low-tier deity level elementary grade. This way, humans could become a top-notch bloodline race. At the thought of this, Zhou Zhou sensed how many new master god tiers of the human race were needed to raise the lower limit of the legendary potential to the lower limit of the legendary tier advanced grade. The lower limit of legendary level potential has been raised to 200 new master god tiers. It's not much. Zhou Zhou nodded slightly. He had 142 new master god tiers of the human race. Another 58 new master god tiers of the human race could raise the potential of the human race to the legendary tier advanced grade. There's a high chance that we can achieve this condition tomorrow, he said to himself with a smile. At this moment, Zhou 11 walked over and told Zhou Zhou about Thanatos. When Zhou Zhou heard that, he clicked his tongue. Thanatos' luck is really bad. He actually discovered the secret of the netherworld will. No wonder he died silently. Besides, you're doing well. Perhaps we can bring a new supreme god helper to our blazing sun divine kingdom. Zhou 11 waved his hand and did not really care. Then, he threw out his right hand and saw the Lord Talent sphere emitting black fog being thrown over by him and caught by Zhou Zhou. After Zhou Zhou received it, he took a look and absorbed it. He opened his eyes in no time. He opened his Lord Talent interface and saw that there was a new mythical tier. Unique Lord Talent. He looked carefully. More talent information appeared. F10. Sacred Blessings. Death Master God. Tiers Protection by Thanatos. Specific Talent Effect 1. Supreme Blessing of Thanatos. The Death Master God, Thanatos, one of the 10 chief gods under the Supreme Will, has performed Supreme Blessing on you and the combat-type professionals under you. You and your combat-type professionals would not die immediately in battle. Instead, you will continue to fight in the form of the dead until 24 hours later before their souls return to the netherworld. Specific Talent Effect 2, Resurrection. You will continue to survive in the form of the dead for 24 hours after you and your combat-type professionals die in battle. During these 24 hours, if you or your subordinates kill the killer, you or your subordinates can absorb the life essence of the enemy to revive. Specific Talent Effect 3, Master God's Protection. The development process of your Lord's faction will not be hindered by other Master God-level powerhouses. The Master God, Terrence, will secretly protect you and your Lord's faction, stopping or killing any Master God-level powerhouses who dare to come and have malicious intentions. Specific Talent Effect 4, Guardian of the Divine Kingdom. When your Lord faction advances to beginner-level Divine Kingdom Lord faction, the War God, Terrence, will automatically join your Lord faction and become a loyal worshipper of your Master God. However, you have to promise him that you will help him advance to the Supreme God realm in the future. Note, as the Master God of Death, Thanatos, has fallen, the specific talent effects 3 and 4 are no longer effective. Zhou Zhou's eyes lit up after reading it. God of Death Thanatos. 10 Sacred Blessings Lord Talent was not bad. He could actually continue fighting as an undead after death. Moreover, if he killed the person he killed during this period, he could even revive by absorbing the life essence of the person he killed. The most terrifying thing was that this innate ability actually did not have a death restriction. In other words, if he could use this talent well, he could use it to create a terrifying undead army. At this moment, another line of text appeared. Supreme Will Notification. Congratulations to Common People's Regal, Supreme Lord's 4th Reserve Army, for gathering all the 10 Sacred Blessings Lord Talents. You have obtained a Supreme Unique Lord Talent, Protection of the Supreme Will. When Zhou Zhou saw the notification, his eyes lit up in excitement. One could actually trigger an Easter egg after gathering the Lord Talent of the 10 Sacred Blessings. Blessed by the Supreme Will. The Supreme Will is actually involved behind the collection of these 10 holy blessings. As expected of the 10 mythical tier Lord Talents I painstakingly collected. As expected, they didn't disappoint me. Zhou Zhou said happily. Then, with a thought, he opened the specific information of the 10 Sacred Blessings Lord Talent. Protection of the Supreme Will, Supreme, Unique. Specific Talent Effect 1, Blessing of the Supreme Will. The Supreme Will lamented the difficulty of collecting the Lord Talents of the 10 Sacred Blessings. Therefore, it specially bestowed a special reward blessing to the Lord Talents of the 10 Sacred Blessings. You and the subjects under your command. Every life form has a basic understanding of the Lord's laws. When comprehending the laws, it's easier to delve into the essence of the laws and comprehend the Supreme Lord's laws. Specific Talent Effect 2, Supreme Will. You and your subjects' willpower talent has reached the supreme level. Compared to other life forms, it's easier to raise your willpower realm to the will divine transformation realm. Specific Talent Effect 3, Supreme Heart. When you and your subjects advance to the Supreme God level, the probability of advancement will increase by 10%. When Zhou Zhou saw this Lord Talent, he could not help but hold his breath. Then, a burning passion appeared in his eyes, this protection of the supreme will was actually a Lord talent that could help the subjects under him to comprehend the Lord's law and reduce the difficulty of advancing to supreme God. This was simply too awesome. This was because most of his Lord talents were mythical tier. The maximum range he could affect was at the Master God tier. When the God spirits of Master God tier advanced grade become supreme gods, most of his Lord talents would not be of much use to the Master God tier advanced grade God spirits under him. With this supreme unique Lord talent, it would be much easier for the Master God tier advanced grade God spirits under him to become supreme gods. Furthermore, the subjects under him would have an easier time comprehending the Lord's law in the future and become connate regals. God spirits also had a chance of comprehending the Lord's law and becoming acquired regals. Connate regals and acquired regals would all have the basic qualifications to advance to the supreme God realm. In other words, this supreme unique Lord talent alone would bring him countless supreme God seeds in the future. The leaders of the 3 top bloodline races had racked their brains and even joined forces to deal with him. Apart from coveting his supreme Lord Reserve army, they weren't regals in the first place and wanted to use this method to obtain the opportunity to advance to the supreme God level. The subjects under him would all have the chance to become supreme gods because of this supreme unique Lord talent. The original Master Gods would probably be filled with regret when they found out. If he had known that it was so simple, why would he have dealt with Zhou Zhou? Wouldn't he have just joined him? It turned out to be a total loss for him. There was one more thing that it was no exaggeration to say that as long as he was willing to release the information about this Lord talent, it was guaranteed that countless God spirits and ordinary life forms would crazily want to come to his kingdom and become his subject. That was a supreme God after all, a God spirit that truly transcended the myriad worlds and was high and mighty. Who could resist the temptation of becoming a supreme God? Furthermore, there were other Lord talents that increased the potential of the subject's talent in his kingdom, other than this supreme unique Lord talent. All of these could attract subjects and even God spirits from the outside world. Lastly, there might be 1 or 2 willpower level subordinates in the future if there were more supreme gods under him in the future. He had willpower level subordinates. Such a thing was unimaginable for most will level existences. And with Zhou Zhou having this Lord talent, it meant that there was a high chance that he would have willpower level subordinates in the future. This was even enough to make willpower level existences go crazy. This Lord talent is suitable for my current situation where I lack top-notch experts. Zhou Zhou thought in satisfaction. Right at that moment, Zhou 11, who was bored, asked, "What do I do next?" Zhou Zhou snapped back to his senses and closed the Lord talent information interface. He gestured at the map beside he with his eyes and said, "Cultivate with me. I've absorbed a little too much of the Supreme God's inheritance in the past 2 days. I can't comprehend it alone." Okay. Zhou 11 nodded and sat beside Zhou Zhou before entering the time world to cultivate. Zhou Zhou thought for a moment and was not in a hurry to cultivate. Instead, he called Zheng Yuanqi over and told he about the effect of the Supreme Unique Lord Talent, a member of the Supreme Lord Reserve Army. He no longer had to worry about the outside world knowing that he had many Lord Talents. Therefore, Zheng Yuanqi was not surprised when he heard that His Majesty had gained another Lord Talent. However, what made he ecstatic was that His Majesty's Supreme Unique Lord Talent was actually so astonishing that it could actually allow the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom to have a large number of Supreme God seeds in the future and allow Master God tier advance grade God spirits to advance to the Supreme God level more easily. Once such an effect was released, it was enough to make countless God spirits go crazy. You can use this as a foundation to spread the news to the outside world. Come to this Emperor's Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom to be a subject and worshipped God spirit. It will be easier for you to advance to the Supreme God level in the future. Zheng Yuanqi heard Zhou Zhou say, just as this thought appeared in Zheng Yuanqi's mind. There's no need to talk about the specific effects of the talent. Just say that it's easier to advance to the Supreme God level. Many thoughts flashed through Zheng Yuanqi's mind before he suddenly said respectfully. I understand. Zhou Zhou nodded. The reason why he did not release the specific effects of the Lord talent was very simple. It was because the effect of this Lord talent was too shocking. It was even enough to make willpower level forces coveted. Therefore, he had to keep a low profile. When he became the leader of a supreme god-level faction in the future or had willpower level subordinates, there would be no need to hide it anymore. That would be the time to rely on this Lord talent to develop wantonly. The thought of this. Zhou Zhou understood something else. In a wonder, every 10 sacred blessings Lord talent required the possessor of the talent to help the 10 master god tiers become supreme gods in the future. That time, he was still thinking about what he would do if other 10 sacred blessings Lord talent possessors were not like he, who had many supreme gods' divine inheritances. Now that he saw the supreme unique Lord talent rewarded, he immediately understood So the Supreme will had already prepared the Lord talent to help them advance to the supreme god level. He only needed to collect all the Lord talents of the 10 sacred blessings. Even though it was very difficult, once someone collected all of them, the rewards would be unimaginably high. After that, Zheng Yuanqi did not talk much and immediately went to settle this matter. Zhou Marshal also returned not long after Zheng Yuanqi left. Here you go. I continued to lead troops to expand my territory. He directly handed the 160 Chaos Divine Treasures to Zhou Zhou before turning to leave. Zhou Zhou smiled and looked at Zhou 11, who was cultivating with his eyes closed. He flew out of the Reincarnation Sacred Palace and arrived above Blazing Sun Divine Capital. He flipped his right hand and saw 200 Chaos Divine Treasures appear in his hand. Then, he silently chanted in upgrade the territory. The next second, with 200 Guy units of basic materials, 10,000 true God tier advanced grade divine crystals, 1 capital units origin crystal, 50 units of chaos divine treasures, 200 units of chaos divine treasures, and 10 true God tier advanced grade territory tokens disappeared. A text notification appeared. Congratulations. Your true God tier intermediate grade world of gods, Lord's Law, has successfully advanced to true God tier advanced grade world of gods, Lord's Law. Your territory has successfully upgraded to a true God tier advanced grade territory. Your true God tier intermediate grade, all methods. Origin array has been upgraded to true God advanced grade, all methods, origin array. Durability of territory stone tablet increased to 1 capital unit / 1 capital unit. Your territory has expanded to 500 billion kilometers x 500 billion kilometers x 10 million kilometers. You have expelled all the fog monsters in the territory of the new territory. The scarlet fog will not appear in any of your territories. You have received an upgrade reward. Mythical tier building blueprint treasure chest, true God tier advanced grade. Lord talent notification. Your Scarlet Broodmother can be upgraded. Lord talent notification. Your mysterious caravan has been upgraded. Lord talent notification. The strength of the clergy of your life arc has increased. Zhou Zhou nodded in satisfaction. He had finally advanced to a true God tier advanced grade territory, the highest level territory. Of all the Lord factions in the myriad worlds, wastingly the territory of a true God tier. Advanced grade. Divine Kingdom Lord factions were at most high-level Divine Kingdom Lord factions. There were no higher-level Lord factions. Even though supreme and willpower level forces existed, they had relied on their strength to obtain the recognition of the outside world and become a supreme or willpower level faction recognized by the outside world. It was not that their divine kingdoms had reached the level of a supreme god or a will. This was because the supreme will was not above the divine kingdom lord faction to create a higher level lord faction. You're already at the peak of the infinite worlds? But I haven't become a supreme lord yet, Zhou Zhou said softly. Then, he was about to check the conditions for advancement to an advanced divine kingdom. However, at that moment, he suddenly thought of something. He took a deep breath and clicked on the next advancement requirement of the territory. He looked shocked because there really was one. Building upgrade. 200 Guy units of wood. 5,200 Gai units of thin sand, 200 Gai units of metal, 200 Gai units of stone, 1,000 Master God Tier Elementary Grade Divine Crystals, 10 Capital Units Origin Crystals, 500 Chaos Divine Treasures, 3 Ultimate Void Crystals, 10 Lower Master God Tier Regional Territories, 10 Lower Master God Tier Elementary Grade God Spirits, 20 million Racial Heroes. My territory can actually be upgraded to Master God Tier Elementary Grade? When did it start? Does this mean that everyone in the universe can advance? Or am I the only one who can? Does this mean that everyone in the universe can advance? Or am I the only one who can? Right at that moment, a line of text from the Supreme will silently appeared in front of him. Supreme will notification. Currently, only the promotion authority of Master God Tier territories and the promotion authority of Master God Tier countries are open to you. If you successfully advance, not only will you become the first territory owner to promote your territory to Master God Tier territories, but after you, the territory owners of other true God Tier territories will also open this authority. There will be a chance to become the territory owner of Master God Tier territories. From then on, there will be more and more territory owners of Master God Tier territories. Supreme will notification. In other words, you will be the creator of the upper limit of all Master God Tier territory lords. History will truly remember you because of this. Zhou Zhou's mouth fell open. He understood how important this matter was without needing the Supreme will to explain. It was no exaggeration to say that if he really became the creator of the territory's upper limit, his reputation in the myriad worlds would reach an unprecedented, terrifying height when the time came. Even if he wasn't a willpower level powerhouse or even a reserve supreme lord, his prestige was enough to make him not inferior to a true willpower level powerhouse. Lord Supreme Will, why have you bestowed this honor upon me? Zhou Zhou was puzzled. The Supreme Will could do such things on its own. Supreme Will notification, I don't need this. Supreme Will notification, in addition, you are one of the future successors I chose. I have to put a few layers of halos on you and let the living beings of the myriad worlds truly respect you, admire you, and worship you. Supreme Will notification. This way, you can successfully take over my supreme great cosmos in the future. Zhou Zhou was speechless after reading it. Do the other reserves get the same treatment I do? He asked curiously. Supreme Will notification. Yes, but they're all inferior to you. Zhou Zhou grinned when he heard that. Thank you for the gift. Lord Supreme Will, I will definitely advance to a Master God Tier Elementary Grade Territorial faction as soon as possible and let all the races know my name. Supreme Will notification. Zhou Zhou did not say anything else. Then, his gaze landed on the promotion requirements again. Soon, he noticed the requirements for 500 units of Chaos Divine Treasures and 3 units of Ultimate Void Divine Crystals. 500 units of Chaos Divine Treasures might sound like a lot, but I still have 136 Chaos Divine Treasures in my possession. I should be able to gather the remaining Chaos Divine Treasures in 2 to 3 days. As for the Ultimate Void Crystal, sounds familiar. After a few seconds of contemplation, Zhou Zhou suddenly thought of something. He stretch out his right hand, and a hexagonal dark purple crystal appeared in his hand. As soon as the hexagonal purple crystal appeared, it began to emit a shocking purple light. Any space that was illuminated by the purple light began to distort and transform into the ultimate void environment. With a thought, Zhou Zhou extracted the power of the dark purple crystal and restored the surrounding space to normal. He looked at the dark purple crystal. A text notification appeared. Item name, Ultimate Void. Crystal, item level, Supreme Tier, item effect. Distorts everything in the surrounding space and transforms it into an ultimate void creation. One ultimate void crystal can degenerate 100 boundless universes into an ultimate void world. Item description. The ultimate void crystal is a supreme treasure born in the ultimate void environment. The Void Emperor placed it in the void-based star core and used it to pollute and transform the supreme great cosmos in the crimson great cosmos. It's in the base star core. Zhou Zhou was relieved to see this. As long as we know where it came from. Zhou Zhou looked at the ultimate void divine crystals in his hand. This ultimate void divine crystals was naturally obtained from Kai City's base star core. At its first, Zhou Fight didn't pay much attention to it. He only thought that he was a pure pollutant. So he casually threw he into the number 1 treasure vault for collection that he did not expect this to be an important material that could be used to upgrade his territory. If one void-based star core can produce one ultimate void crystal, doesn't that mean that I can gather 2 more ultimate void crystals, which is to conquer 2 void bases, and I can gather the conditions in this aspect? It's not hard. Zhou Zhou nodded slightly. In that case, I've satisfied most of the conditions to advance to the Master God tier elementary grade. Only the Chaos Divine Treasure and the Ultimate Void Crystal are not satisfied. Yeah, in 3 days, I will definitely be able to upgrade my territory to Master God tier elementary grade territory. Zhou Zhou thought to himself. Then, he opened the requirements to upgrade the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom from an intermediate grade Divine Kingdom to an advanced grade Divine Kingdom. After the last upgrade, he had other things to do and had actually forgotten about this matter. Soon, the upgrade information appeared. Divine Kingdom. Name, Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom. God Lord, Blazing Sun God. Lord, Divine Kingdom level. Intermediate grade Divine Kingdom, Divine. Kingdom flag. All stars cover the sun, divine. Kingdom Army, Blazing Sun Army, True God tier advanced grade. Monster Army, True God tier advanced grade. Dragon God Army, True God tier advanced grade. 10,000 Races Army, True God tier advanced grade. Heavenly Map Army, True God tier advanced grade. Homeland Defense Army, True God tier advanced grade. Requirements to advance to an advanced grade Divine Kingdom. Territory level to True God advanced grade, satisfied. Divine Capital level to True God tier, satisfied. 1,000 True God advanced grade Divine Crystals, satisfied. Conquer 10 Crimson Overlords intermediate grade Divine Kingdom, 10 out of 10, satisfied. Conquer 5 intermediate grade Divine Kingdoms that are not under the Crimson Overlord, satisfied. Conquer 1 advanced grade Divine Kingdom Lord faction and possess its True God advanced grade Divine token, 1/1, satisfied. 100 million independent regional territories. 10,000 race heroes, satisfied. 3 race divine artifacts, satisfied. They were all satisfied. Zhou Zhou nodded slightly, not very surprised. With his current strength and faction, it would be strange if he still did not meet the requirements for advancement. Now that I'm satisfied, then let's just get promoted, he muttered to himself. Then, he chanted the advancement in his heart. The next second, a text notification appeared in front of him. Prompt. You have satisfied all the conditions to advance to an advanced grade Divine Kingdom. Do you want to advance the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom to an advanced grade Divine Kingdom? Promotion. Zhou Zhou said. Prompt. You have 1 chance to change the location of God Capital. Do you want to change/reserve? Reserve. Prompt. Your choice has been confirmed. Prompt. Your Lord's Territory Intermediate Grade Divine Kingdom Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom is being upgraded. Prompt. Advancement successful. Congratulations, your Intermediate Grade Divine Kingdom Lord Territory, Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom. You have officially advanced to Advanced Grade Divine Kingdom Lord Territory Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom. Prompt. You can show the level of your Divine Kingdom territory on any channel. Zhou Zhou nodded slightly. He had finally advanced to Advanced Grade Divine Kingdom Lord faction. Now, he could be considered one of the top races and lords in the myriad worlds. Maybe we can get rid of the word one of right at that moment. A new text notification appeared in front of Zhou Zhou and resounded in the ears of all living beings in the myriad worlds. 10,000 Races Announcement. Congratulations to Lord of all Races Reserve, Lord of the Blazing Sun, for successfully upgrading your Divine Kingdom territory to an Intermediate Divine Kingdom territory. Reward. Lord of all Races Reserve Treasure Chest +1, Intermediate Divine Kingdom Treasure Chest +1. Reputation Rating plus 10,000. Mythical Reputation Rating plus 100. All Races Announcement. Congratulations to the Supreme Lord Reserve Army, Lord of the Blazing Sun. All Races Announcement. Congratulations to the Supreme Lord Reserve Army, Lord of the Blazing Sun. Zhou Zhou smiled. He opened the battle channel of all races and the Lord's channel of all races as expected. He realized that the lords and god spirits of the myriad races were discussing the promotion of the blazing sun divine kingdom to a high-level divine kingdom lord faction. The myriad spirit race congratulates the Supreme Lord's 4th Reserve Army on becoming the lord of an advanced grade divine kingdom. The immortal spirit race congratulates the Supreme Lord's 4th Reserve Army on becoming the lord of an advanced grade divine kingdom. The descendant of the god spirit race congratulates the Supreme Lord's 4th Reserve Army on becoming the lord of an advanced grade divine kingdom. Elemental race congratulates the Supreme Lord's 4th Reserve Army on becoming the lord of an advanced grade divine kingdom. Your Excellency Common People's Regal is indeed worthy of being the Supreme Lord's 4th Reserve Army personally, chosen by the Supreme Will. How long has it been? And you've already raised your divine Kingdom Lord faction to a high-level divine Kingdom Lord faction. From now on, Your Excellency, the Common People's Regal can be considered the master of a top-notch Lord faction. Other than those supreme factions and willpower level factions, I want to see which Lord faction and race faction dares to pick on low-level Lord factions. It's just some gossip. When has the Supreme Lord ever bothered with them? That's true. Those who said these words are all clowns who can't be seen. What kind of situation is the Common People's Regal? They won't care about them at all. Your Excellency, Common People's Regal has already been promoted to the Lord of an advanced grade empire. Your next goal should be to advance to an official Supreme Lord, right? I still think God King Heaven Punishment is stronger. The Lord of 10,000 Evils has guarded the ultimate void battlefield for so many years. He has contributed and worked even harder. The Supreme Will must have already set Lord of 10,000 Evils as the future Supreme Lord in his heart. Set in his heart? Do you know the heart of the Supreme Will? How do you know that the Supreme Will is sure that Lord of 10,000 Evils will become the Supreme Lord in the future? We, the Spring and Autumn Dharma Lords, have guarded the river of time for tens of thousands of years. If we wanted to be the Supreme Lords, then Lord of 10,000 Evils, the God King Heaven Punishment, and that so-called Common People's Regal are nothing. All the lords of the myriad races were bragging about Zhou Zhou for the gods in the battle channel of the myriad races. They argued and even argued about who would become the Supreme Lord in the future because of the 4 Supreme Lord Reserve armies. Zhou Zhou watched with relish. The discussion of these god spirits revealed a lot of information. They believed that among the 4 Supreme Lord Reserve armies, Zhou Zhou, as the new Supreme Lord Reserve Army, was the least likely to advance, to become a Supreme Lord in the future because his strength and faction were the weakest. The Spring and Autumn Dharma Lord came second. This was because the Spring and Autumn Dharma Lord had not appeared in front of the life forms of the myriad worlds for a long time. The Spring and Autumn Dharma Lord did not participate in the few meetings summoned by the Supreme Lord. Instead, he focused on guarding the river of time that as time passed. The life forms of the myriad worlds almost forgot about this second reserve of the Supreme Lord, as if the other party had really been buried by the river of time. The call for Lord of 10,000 Evils to become a Supreme Lord in the future was the second highest among the god spirits in the battle channel of the myriad races. As the other party was the leader of the ultimate void battlefield and often interacted with the gods of the battle channel of the myriad races, Zhou Zhou was not surprised that he had so many supporters. The call for Lord of 10,000 Evils to become a Supreme Lord in the future was the second highest among the god spirits in the battle channel of the myriad races. As the other party was the leader of the ultimate void battlefield and often interacted with the gods of the battle channel of the myriad races, Zhou Zhou was not surprised that he had so many supporters. This Supreme Lord Reserve Army was one of the 4 Supreme Lord Reserves. It was the most popular to become a Supreme Lord and had the most supporters. According to the gods of the 10,000 Races Combat Channel, the God King Heaven Punishment had already become a Supreme Willpower Realm expert a long time ago and was on par with other willpower level existences. He was the only willpower level existence in the reserve army of the 4 Supreme Lords. In addition, What he was doing now was to resist the invasion of the illusionary race together with the supreme will. Powerful. Then, he followed beside the supreme will and fought alongside the 10,000 races. He also knew many will-level existences. Among these will-level existences, there were definitely some will-level existences who were already his supporters, coupled with the reason that the other Zhou Zhou and these god spirits might not know. It was no wonder that God King Heaven Punishment had the highest number of voices and supporters among the god spirits. However, even though God King Heaven Punishment was very famous, Zhou Zhou was not very worried. Even though the God King Heaven Punishment indeed had the most supporters and was the strongest in strength and faction, since the Supreme Will did not choose the other party and continued to choose the second, third, and the fourth Supreme Lord Reserve Army. It proved that he was at least a little dissatisfied with this successor. It was precisely because of this that the Supreme Will chose the other three Supreme Lord Reserve Army and let Zhou Zhou and the others compete with the God King Heaven Punishment. Therefore, Zhou Zhou knew that even though he was the weakest in terms of strength and faction, he might have a chance to fight for the Supreme Lord position in the future. He stopped thinking about it. Zhou Zhou closed the Lord channel and the battle channel of the myriad races and began to check these rewards. The first was naturally the Supreme Lord Reserve Treasure Chest. After he opened the Supreme Lord Reserve Treasure Chest, he realized that there was a statue of the dragon god inside. This statue was the size of a palm. Its divine body was muscular, and its entire body was golden. It had 18 golden wings on its back and a dragon head. It had a dignified dragon appearance and a golden crown on its head that in addition, his tail was very long. The end was in the shape of a short golden blade. Looking extremely sharp, what attracted Zhou Zhou's attention the most was that the scales on the surface of the dragon god statue actually revealed mirror images of worlds. Zhou Zhou could even see the joy, anger, sorrow, and even life and death of the life forms inside these scale worlds. What kind of dragon statue is this? Zhou Zhou said in surprise. Right at that moment, a text notification appeared. Treasure name, Dragon God of all life. Treasure grade, special, treasure effect. After the will acknowledges the owner, the Dragon God of all life will become the owner's pet and follow the owner for the rest of its life. Treasure introduction. The Dragon God of all life is a dragon god from another world captured by the Supreme Will from the ultimate void. It has the power to travel through the myriad worlds and create all living beings. The Supreme Will originally wanted to recognize it as its master and make it its pet. However, the Dragon God of all life would rather die than submit, so the Supreme Will could only give up. Later on, it was handed over to the Supreme Lord's 4th Reserve Army Common People's Regal. Dragon God of all life? This name suits my title as a regal. Zhou Zhou was surprised. He looked at the statue and felt that this dragon god was fated with him. There must be an answer on a whim. Is this really my pet? He muttered to himself. At his level, he was already extremely clear about the division between fate and his life. This was fate. It's a gift from the heavens, something that can't be changed. For example, him being an earthling, his initial epic tier lord talent, 100% drop rate. This was luck. Destiny probably referred to his choice and hard work. For example, he had never slacked off after obtaining a 100% drop rate. He had always demanded the highest standards of himself to grow to this point. Unlike some lords who clearly had the lord talent that could change the world, but was addicted to a moment of stability and joy. In the end, these lords had nothing. Their lives were not even as good as those lords who did not have the lord talent. This was life. Life and fate intertwined. The fate of the heavens and one's own life influenced each other. Forming the fate of life forms. Zhou Zhou looked at this statue of the dragon god of all life. He could sense that the other party's existence was entangled with his fate, and it was echoing in a good direction. At the thought of this, Zhou Zhou no longer hesitated. Since it was a good fate, it didn't matter if he was destined or his life. He just had to take it. Considering too much is just asking for trouble. He directly acknowledged him as its master. The next second, the dragon god of all life, who did not even care about its supreme will, trembled slightly. Then, It transformed into a golden stream of light that rushed into the starry sky of the divine kingdom. Rumble. The starry sky of the divine kingdom emitted a dignified roar. The next second, a divine dragon billions of light years long slowly appeared in the sky of the divine kingdom. He bowed his head slightly and looked at the tiny figure below. His eyes were filled with cold arrogance and indifference. Zhou Zhou smiled. He raised his right hand and gently grabbed at the starry sky. Lord Law Skill, Myriad Methods Star Palm. Rip. The entire starry sky was like a piece of paper that had been ravaged wantonly, easily crushed into a ball. Before the dragon god of all life that spanned the starry sky could react, it was already held in Zhou Zhou's palm like a small worm. The entire divine kingdom fell into darkness and silence. Only Zhou Zhou was the only light that ate this moment. Zhou Zhou looked at the dragon god of all life in his palm and inexplicably thought of the scene of Sun Wukong jumping up and down into Thagatus. Palm and Chinese mythical tier. The two were exactly the same. Dragon god of all life. Are you convinced? Zhou Zhou did not think too much about it and said with a smile, I'm convinced. The dragon god of all life held it in for a long time and said indignantly, then from today onwards, you're this emperor's pet. Your name is too long. It's troublesome to talk about. I'll call you Little Dragon. Zhou Zhou said casually. Isn't Little Dragon a bit too hasty? The dragon god of all life's eyes widened. How about Little All? Zhou Zhou asked. Actually, Little Dragon sounds quite nice. The dragon god of all life was silent for a second before hurriedly saying. Zhou Zhou smiled. I don't believe I can't handle you. Then, he began to study the dragon god of all life's abilities. Pet. Little Dragon. Race. Dragon god of all life. Dragon god of the other world. Supreme Dragon God. Growing stage. Adulthood. Strength level. Low-level Master God tier elementary grade. Changes with the strength of the Master God tier. Skills. Common People's Dragon Might. Ultimate Dragon Breath. Common People's Will. Dragon Language Proficiency. Lord Law Skill. Cross the Heavens. Lord Law Skill. Suppress Luck. Lord Law Skill. Seal Evil Demons. Lord Law Skill. All creatures submit. Lord Law Skill. World Ascension. Lord Law Skill. Amnesty for Common People. Lord Law Skill. Save. Lord Law Skill. Immortality from Common People's Blessings. Lord Law Skill. Fearlessness from Common People's Blessings. Lord Law Skill. Heaven's Will from Common People's Blessings. Lord Law Skill. Blessing Cultivation from Common People's Blessings. Lord Law Skill. Loyalty from Common People's Blessings. Lord Law Skill. Liveness from Common People's Blessings. Lord Law Skill. Lord Law Skill. Liveness from Common People's Blessings. Potential. Changes with the owner's potential. Loyalty. Dead loyal. Character. Unruly. Sympathetic to the common people. Calm, like a king. Knowing people well and utilizing them well. Smart. Kind. Helpful. Stubborn. Brave. Patient. Confident. Sincere. Pet description. A supreme dragon god from an unknown universe. It doesn't have any offensive ability, but in terms of support abilities, especially those related to all living beings, it can be considered the number one in the heavens. Even the Supreme Will has once been tempted. Unfortunately, the Supreme Will isn't the good master of the dragon god of all life, so it hasn't been recognized by the dragon god of all life. Zhou Zhou looked at the interface of the dragon god of all life and clicked his tongue and wondered, as mentioned in the pet description. This dragon god of all life indeed had nothing to show for its offensive abilities. Its most offensive ability was still a sealing ability that sealed demons. Its other abilities were all support-type abilities, even though it did not have offensive abilities, and many god spirits would not like it. As a lord, Zhou Zhou liked this kind of dragon god who was good at support abilities very much. This was because he was not lacking in dragon gods with strong offensive abilities, such as Nazario and the other legendary dragons. Zhou Zhou felt that it was more or less a waste of their offensive ability to keep these dragons with strong offensive abilities by his side as pets and mounts. So he sent them to the battlefield. The regal dragon had always stayed in the regal sage Dao sword and did not appear often. As a result, he didn't have any pets or mounts by his side. This was timely. With the dragon god of all life's support abilities, it could be placed beside him as his personal pet and mount. The reason why it could still be used as a mount was because his Lord Law skill transcend the heavens. The dragon god of all life could open a spatial passageway to the myriad worlds and instantly arrive at any world in the myriad worlds. Its speed was even much faster than the shadow worlds. Teleportation. Teleportation to the shadow world required one to go to the shadow world first before teleporting through the warp gate of the shadow world. After all, the dragon god of all life directly skipped this step and could directly reach any world in the myriad worlds. The only regret that Zhou Zhou had was that this transmigrator could not teleport a large number of soldiers and equipment. Otherwise, he would not need to teleport to the shadow world in the future and would directly use the dragon god of all life to carry out a cross-border war. Zhou gave it a thought, and the dragon god of all life instantly turned into a golden stream of light and rushed into his boots, turning into the lifelike dragon god patterns on the surface of his boots. You sure know how to find a place. Zhou Zhou smiled gently. However, even though the dragon god of all life had already fused with him, Zhou Zhou did not intend to let he stay by his side. He cultivated in the reincarnation sacred palace every day. After all, it was still too wasteful to keep the dragon god of all life by his side. That it was better to leave it for Zhou Fight or Zhou Marshall and the others to use as mounts and pets. That it would not be too late to bring this little fellow along when he went out personally one day. Then, Zhou Zhou's gaze landed on the advanced grade divine kingdom treasure chest. He opened it and took a look. There was a golden talisman quietly placed inside. Zhou Zhou looked over. Treasure name: Master God Tier Treasure. Book: Treasure Grade: Master. God Tier Advanced Grade: Treasure Effect. As long as any life form drips blood on this Master God Tier Treasure book to recognize it as its master, they can obtain the strength and lifespan of the Master God Tier Advanced Grade on the random nomological path. After undoing the recognition, they will recover their original strength and lifespan. Treasure description: a supreme treasure that can change one's fate. Even a weak ant can rely on the Master God Tier Treasure book to reach the heavens in a single step and become a clan-protecting expert. Zhou Zhou's eyes widened. Oh my god. Just this talisman could directly make an ordinary life form with no extraordinary tier power become a clan-protecting expert who was a Master God Tier Advanced Grade. Isn't this effect too heaven-defying? Master God Tier God spirits were nothing to the current Zhou Zhou. However, the key was that he could allow any life form to become a Master God Tier without cultivation or the accumulation of time. For example, if Zhou Zhou had a relative and wanted this relative to accompany him for a long time, he could completely give this treasure scroll to the other party and make the other party acknowledge him as a Master God Tier Advanced Grade God Spirit. This way, the other party could exist in his life for a long time. The lifespan of a Master God Tier Advanced Grade Expert could be said to be unlimited after all. They could even live until the great cosmos was destroyed as long as nothing happened midway. At that time, it would be difficult for him to die. Give it to Grandpa. Zhou Zhou thought of his grandparents who were far away on Earth. Even though this talisman could be used as a reward for his subordinates, Zhou Zhou still wanted to leave it to his family with a thought. The Master God Tier Treasure book in his hand disappeared and appeared in the hands of Zhou Zhou's clone on Earth. Zhou Zhou's clone would hand it to his grandfather and let him become a Master God Tier God Spirit, AS for Grandma and the others he cherished. Zhou Zhou believed that there would be a chance in the future. Even without the Master God Tier Treasure book, Zhou Zhou could rely on all kinds of resources to push them to the true God Tier level. The lifespan of a true God Tier and a Master God Tier was unlimited. The only difference was their strength. Then, his gaze landed on the 10,000 reputation rating talents and 100 mythical reputation rating talents before he retracted his gaze to eye in the past. He might have been excited by this reward. There was no fluctuation in his heart, even if it was a mythical reputation rating. One mythical reputation rating was at most equivalent to a true God Tier talent after all. Such talents could not be found everywhere in the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom. But at least they were not lacking. Of course, it was better than nothing. Then, with a thought, Zhou Zhou opened the promotion requirement panel for the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom to advance from an advanced grade Divine Kingdom to a Master God tier Kingdom. Divine Kingdom name, Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom, God Lord Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom. Level, Beginner Divine Kingdom, Divine Kingdom. Flag, All Stars Cover the Sun, Divine Kingdom. Army, Blazing Sun Army, True God tier Advanced Grade. Monster Army, True God tier Advanced Grade. Dragon God Army, True God tier Advanced Grade. 10,000 Races Army, True God tier Advanced Grade. Heavenly Map Army, True God tier Advanced Grade. Homeland Defense Army, True God tier Elementary Grade. Requirements for advancing to Master God tier Elementary Grade. Territory level advances to Master God tier Elementary Grade. Capital region level advances to Master God tier. 1,000 Master God tier Elementary Grade Divine Crystals. Conquer 10 high-level Divine Scarlet Empires under the Crimson Overlord O/IO. Conquer 5 high-level Divine Empires that are not under the Crimson Overlord 0/5. Conquer any 100 high-level Divine Kingdom Lord faction and obtain its true God tier Elementary Grade Divine Token 0/100. 1 billion independent regional territories, 100,000 racial heroes, 100,000 God Spirit worshippers of your own race, 10 racial divine artifact of your own race, 10 out of 10, 100 worshipped true God spirits of your own race. Strength of the Lord yourself reaches Master God tier Elementary Grade. Zhou Zhou carefully looked at this promotion requirement. Then, he muttered to himself, I've already satisfied the requirements of the Divine Capital region. The number of territories in the independent Divine Crystals region, race heroes, worshipped God spirits, race divine artifacts, true God tier spirits, and my own strength. Only the rest is not fulfilled. Among these remaining conditions, conquering Divine Kingdom tier territories is the easiest. You don't have to worry about this. Then the only thing left is to upgrade the territory. I can upgrade the Blazing Sun Divine Kingdom from a high level Divine Kingdom to Master God tier Elementary Grade Lord Country as long as I can upgrade my territory to a low level Master God tier Elementary Grade. Zhou Zhou nodded slightly. This was only a matter of time for him. Thinking of this, he stopped thinking and went to the Gate of Summoning. Then, he spent 200 Gai units of basic materials and 1,000 True God tier Advanced Grade Divine Crystals to upgrade the Gate of Summoning to the level of True God tier Advanced Grade. A text notification appeared. Congratulations! Your Gate of Summoning has been successfully upgraded to a True God tier Advanced Grade building. You can summon 50 million subjects every day. You will summon 1 million professionals every day. Prompt. Under the influence of the unique title of the race, Glory of the Pioneer 12, the number of subjects you can summon every day has reached 1,031,586,000. You will summon 1,013 professionals every day. Zhou Zhou nodded after reading it. A true God tier Advanced Grades Gate of Summoning could summon 85,965,500 subjects. After being buffed by the Glory of the Pioneer 12, it directly increased by 12 times, becoming 1,031,586,000 people. With the Heavenly Summoning, these billion new subjects are at least extraordinary tier Advanced Grade subjects. Zhou Zhou was very satisfied. Then, he glanced at the requirement to upgrade the Gate of Summoning. Construction upgrade. Wood 100 Gai unit. Sand 100 Gai unit. Metal 100 Gai unit. Stone 100 Gai unit. True God tier Elementary Grade Divine Crystals 1,000. Territory level upgraded to True God tier Elementary Grade. Zhou Zhou retracted his gaze. Then, he spent 4,000 capital units of basic materials, 10,000 advanced True God tier Divine Crystals, and 1 billion high-grade elemental gems to upgrade the original Dragon Abyss to God tier Advance. Grade. Building name, Original Dragon. Abyss. Construction level, True God tier Advance. Grade. Construction effect. You can summon 6 billion white silver tier Advance. Grade. Pure-blooded dragons. 600 million yellow gold tier Advance grade pure-blooded dragons. 60 million white platinum tier intermediate grade pure-blooded dragons every day from the original Dragon Abyss. 6 true god tier elementary grade dragon gods will become subjects under the Lord and have a 12% chance of summoning legendary dragons. Note, when all the legendary dragons are summoned, the legendary dragons that can't be summoned again will be replaced by 1,000 true god tier advance grade dragon gods. Construction upgrade: Wood 1 guy unit, Sand 1 guy unit, Metal 1 guy unit, Stone 1 guy unit. 10,000 Master God Tier Elementary Grade Divine Crystals. 10 billion high-level Elemental Gemstones. Territory upgraded to Master God Tier Elementary Grade Country Lord Level Faction. 50 Master God Tier, Lord God Tier Dragon Tribe Worshippers. Zhou Zhou looked at the effect of the building, the original Dragon Abyss. Of a true God Tier advanced grade did not increase the recruitment effect by much. The greatest improvement was that the probability of recruiting legendary dragons increased from 30% to 50%. It's a 50% chance. Does this mean that I have a 50% chance of obtaining a legendary dragon every day? Zhou Zhou nodded slightly. This improvement was not bad. Every legendary dragon represented a Master God Tier advanced grade expert after all. Even the current Zhou Zhou would welcome such an expert to join his blazing sun divine kingdom. Then, his gaze landed on the notification at the back. There's actually such a notification? This kind of notification has never appeared before. Zhou Zhou stroked his chin. Then, a guess quickly appeared in his mind. This sudden notification was definitely not groundless. There must be a reason for its appearance. Don't tell me. There aren't many legendary dragons left? Is that why you gave me such a hint? Zhou thought about it and realized that it was really possible. A 50% chance of summoning a legendary dragon was already an extremely high probability. There weren't many legendary dragons to begin with. If he persisted in summoning them every day, it wouldn't be long before the legendary dragons among the dragons would definitely be summoned by him. Then it was not surprising that such a notification had appeared. Zhou Zhou shook his head and didn't care anymore after understanding this, at least for the time being. Legendary dragons wouldn't summon light, so he didn't need to worry about this for the time being. Then, he looked at the upgrade requirements of the original Dragon Abyss. He realized that the other conditions had been met. Only the Dragon Clan still lacked 8 Master Gods. In addition, the territory had yet to be upgraded to a Master God Tier Elementary grade. However, this was not a problem for the current Zhou. He just had to give those dragons with the strength of Master God Tier Advance grade some Supreme God inheritances. He knew that he would not lack the Supreme God's inheritance in the future after coming to the ultimate void battlefield.as. For his territory becoming Master God Tier Elementary grade territory, it was only a matter of time for Zhou Zhou. Then, he returned to the world of gods and sent someone to call Mugu, Zheng Fuguei, and Carol Moali over. A moment later, the three of them arrived in front of Zhou Zhou. "Greetings, Your Majesty." The three of them said respectfully. "Yes, as you can see, the territory has already been promoted to a true God Tier advanced grade. Tell me about your respective advancements." Zhou Zhou said. Mugu was naturally the first to stand up. "Your Majesty, the Scarlet Broodmother that I'm currently in has been upgraded from true God Tier intermediate grade to true God Tier advance grade. The number of Mist Mother evolved from the true God Tier advanced grade. Scarlet Broodmother has increased from 10 million to 20 million. Each Mist Mother's Mist Mother world can now nurture 50 billion fog monsters. 20 million Mist Mothers can nurture a total of 100 capital units fog monsters. In addition, the quality and efficiency of cultivating high-quality Scarlet Heirs has also increased. Currently, I can nurture 100 true God Tier advanced grade Scarlet God Spirits or 1,000 true God Tier elementary grade Scarlet God Spirits in a day. I can also create 1,000,000 ordinary Scarlet God Spirits in a day," Mugu said respectfully. When Zhou Zhou heard this, even though he was already mentally prepared, he still secretly clicked his tongue. Simply too ridiculous. That was a 100 capital units fog monster, which meant if he used all these Mist Mothers to nurture his soldier type, with the enhancement of Lord talents and titles like Heavenly Fate Di Huang. He would be able to obtain 200 capital units Supreme God Realm Soldier recruitment books, 200 capital units Supreme God Realm Soldier Class Change Certificate, 200 capital units Supreme Holy Mage God recruitment books, and 200 capital units Supreme Holy Mage God Class Change Certificate, which meant he could have an additional 800 capital units recruits in a day. He only had 1,040 capital unit soldiers under his command. The newly recruited soldiers on this day were almost catching up to his total military strength in addition. In terms of nurturing the Scarlet God Spirit, Mugu's ability had grown even more ridiculously, not to mention nurturing a true God-tier Scarlet God Spirit. For example, nurturing ordinary God Spirits below the true God-tier level could actually nurture 1,000,000 ordinary Scarlet God Spirits in a day. Was this still a God Spirit? Why did it feel like it was as easy as wholesale cabbages in Mugu's hands? However, Zhou Zhou still had the same idea. If he could not nurture God spirits, he would nurture ordinary soldiers. Then, Zhou Zhou thought for a long time before saying, "Of your 10 million mist mothers, 5 million will be used to nurture the chaos ruler, and the other 5 million will be used to nurture the primordial holy canon." Mugu subconsciously nodded. Then, he suddenly reacted and asked in confusion, "Your Majesty, aren't you going to nurture the withered tree and the iron-eating bear?" "I won't train it for the time being. The initial level of these two fog monsters is too low, and the spoils of war produced are too low. Even if they drop higher-level items after their strength is increased by you, their quality is only average. It can be seen that their potential is limited, and there's not much point in nurturing them. Moreover, the Supreme God Realm Soldier and the Supreme Holy Mage God are already very strong. They don't need any other supplements for the time being. It won't be too late to find a more suitable replacement when the time comes." Zhou Zhou shook his head. "Understand." Mugu nodded respectfully, also felt that the quality of the spoils of war of the two monsters was not good enough. It would be a waste of his cultivation quota to leave them in his Scarlet Broodmother. However, His Majesty had never mentioned anything about changing them. As his subordinate, he didn't mention it much. Now that His Majesty had already mentioned it, he didn't have to say much. Then, he retreated, seeing this. Zheng Fugue stepped forward, reporting to Your Majesty. Now, the number of mysterious merchants has increased from 200 billion to 500 billion after our territory was promoted to true God-tier advanced grade. The number of carriages transporting goods has also increased to 500 billion. Among these 500 billion mysterious merchants, there are a total of 10 billion true God tiers, 100 billion ordinary God spirits, and 390 billion legendary tier advanced grade experts. Our treasure hunting ability has improved again. In the future, when we go out to do business, we should be able to bring back at least 500,000 God-tier treasures each time. In addition, as one of the core branches of the mysterious Merchant Chamber of Commerce, our daily salary has increased from 1,000 Mysterious Merchant Chamber of Commerce points to 2,000 Mysterious Merchant Chamber of Commerce points. He said, respectfully. Zhou Zhou nodded. He was once again amazed by the power of the mysterious caravan. Zheng Fugue left after saying that. Seeing this, Carol Moeli stood up and said respectfully, reporting to Your Majesty. Your Majesty, after the territory was upgraded to the true God-tier advanced grade, our life arc already has 5,000 trillion clergymen, 5,000 trillion priests, 5,000 trillion nuns, and 20 life paladins from the capital units. These clergymen are enough to complete the War Treatment Mission and the War Resurrection Mission for 2,000 capital units. Also, currently, there are already 500 million high-level God Spirit members in the Life Arc. Every one of them has mastered the resurrection spells, and they can resurrect the deities of our country alone. As for my strength, I'm still a Master God tier advanced grade. I haven't improved yet. Zhou Zhou nodded in satisfaction. The 2,000 capital units War Healing Mission and the War Resurrection Mission. This number matched the total number of troops under him. The improvement of the life arc this time was really just right. Of course, after recruiting 800 capital units recruits tomorrow, it would become insufficient. However, Zhou Zhou was not worried. He believed that it would not be long before he could upgrade his territory again and then upgrade the life Arkansas then. He chatted with Mu Gu and them for a while longer about the arrangements for the future. After that, he let them return Zhou. Zhou entered the reincarnation sacred palace and continued his cultivation at the same time in the ultimate void battlefield, Zhou. Zhou entered the reincarnation sacred palace and continued his cultivation. Seeing this, Zhou Fight immediately led his army onto the eternal mothership and began to wait for Lord of 10,000 Evil's army. While waiting, Zhou Marshal also looked at his own army in front of him. After yesterday's insight defection and advancement in strength, the number of God spirits under he had already reached 1,228,739,887 low-tier deity level ultimate void God spirits, 553,429,893 mid-tier deity level ultimate void God spirits, 287,332,323 high-tier deity level ultimate void God spirits, 2,588,734 ultimate void true God tiers, 712 ultimate void master God tiers, and 1 grade 1 ultimate void supreme God. Compared to when he first came to the ultimate void battleground, his strength had improved tremendously. Compared to when he first came to the ultimate void battleground, his strength had improved tremendously to this thought. Zhou Marshal could not help but sigh that this ultimate void battlefield was really a good place to use the Son of Destiny. A moment later, a skeletal supreme god cosmic battleship flew over from afar, wherever the cosmic warship passed. Even the surrounding ultimate void would tremble. Zhou Fight narrowed his eyes slightly and looked at the supreme god-level cosmic battleship. This should be the Demon Lord title that Lord of 10,000 Evils, specially made for the supreme god of creation. It's said that this thing is one of the most precious treasures of the Lord of 10,000 Evils. Just the cost of making it is 1 billion military merits and more than 10 supreme god mission medals. It's ridiculously expensive. However, its actual combat effect is also extraordinary. Just the firepower on this demon Lord is comparable to that of a grade 4 supreme god. His defensive ability is not inferior to his offensive ability. Without more than 5 supreme gods joining forces to attack this demon lord, I'm afraid they won't even be able to break through its defenses. Zhou Fight was impressed and envious at the same time. When would he be able to own such a space battleship? In that case, his development and expansion speed would increase by at least 10 times. At this moment, the Demon Lord had already arrived in front of Zhou Fight's army. A figure wearing black armor, a black helmet, and a black spear flew out of the Demon Lord after the Demon Lord stopped. A blood-red dragon flew in front of Zhou Fight. It was Lord of 10,000 Evils. Brother Common People's Regal, have you been waiting long? Lord of 10,000 Evils smiled. We just got here too. Zhou Fight shook his head. That's good then. The Lord of 10,000 Evils smiled. Then he pointed at the Demon Lord behind he and said proudly, Brother Common People's Regal, I brought all that I have with me for the battle today. 10 billion God spirits, 100 million true God tiers, 10,000 master God tiers. I've even brought 7 supreme God tier powerhouses with me. This is already the majority of my troops. We must take down Sava City in today's battle. The reincarnation will frown slightly towards the end. The Lord of 10,000 Evils suddenly emitted an extremely oppressive and terrifying might. He had been in the ultimate void battleground for too long and had yearned for a satisfying victory for too long. Therefore, he didn't hide anything and went all out. When Zhou Fight heard this, he nodded seriously, also a little surprised. 7 supreme gods. These were even more supreme gods than yesterday. It seemed that this third reserve army of the Supreme Lord had indeed accumulated a lot of resources over the years. The 7 supreme gods were probably not his hard limit. Don't worry, Brother Thousand Evils. Since I dared to come personally, I naturally have a certain degree of confidence in today's battle. Zhou Fight said. The Lord of 10,000 Evils nodded. He naturally believed the other party's words. At their level, there were definitely no reckless fellows. Let's go. The two of them did not talk much. Both parties flew towards Sava City following Zhou Fight's suggestion. Zhou Fight looked out from inside the Eternal Mothership, where the Lord of 10,000 Evils was riding on his blood-red dragon and roaming directly above the Demon Lord. His speed was actually not inferior at all, and he even seemed to be at ease, from the looks of it. If this blood-red dragon flew at full speed, it might even surpass the speed of the Demon Lord. Zhou Fight looked at the blood-red dragon, and his expression gradually turned solemn. A legendary dragon? And it's a legendary dragon at the Supreme God level. I can't believe I just found out. He thought about it and flew out of the Eternal Mothership. Then, he saw the dragon god of all life's patterns on his boots emit a faint golden light. In the next moment, a golden dragon shadow flew out of his boots and condensed the figure of the dragon god of all life in the ultimate void. Zhou Fight flew up and stood on the dragon god of all life's head, alongside Lord of 10,000 Evils. Lord of 10,000 Evils also noticed this unfamiliar dragon that had suddenly appeared beside him. After taking a few glances, his gaze focused slightly. This legendary dragon seemed to be a little special. At this moment, Zhou Zhou's voice sounded. Brother Demon Lord, you're in high spirits. There's a battleship that doesn't take the dragon god and travels here alone. I just like being with Blood Cloud. Besides, Blood Cloud wants to fly for a while. Lord of 10,000 Evils shook his head and smiled. Then, he looked at the dragon god of all life under Zhou Fight's feet and said with a smile, Brother All Life, didn't you also bring your combat companions out to travel like me? The little dragon is my new pet. It's also my first time bringing he out. Zhou Fight shook his head. Oh. The Lord of 10,000 Evils was a little surprised when he heard this. He looked at the dragon god of all life for a few seconds and suddenly asked in his heart, Blood Cloud, what do you think of this legendary dragon companion of the common people's regal? Blood Cloud also secretly looked at his own clansman. He said in a deep voice after looking at him for a while, He isn't a legendary dragon. Not a legendary dragon? The Lord of 10,000 Evils was shocked when he heard this. He is an ordinary pure-blooded dragon who advanced to the level of Master God Tier Advanced Grade. As the main battle avatar, Zhou Fight usually maintained the strength of a Master God Tier Advanced Grade most of the time. As a pet that could grow up with its master, the dragon god of all life strength was now at the level of a Master God Tier Advanced Grade. If Zhou Fight used King at full power, his strength would increase to the level of a Grade 1 Supreme God. And the dragon god of all life would also advance to the level of a Grade 1 Supreme God. However, at this moment, Lord of 10,000 Evils and the others naturally did not know this. Not really. In my perception, I can't even sense the bloodline connection between me and him. It's as if he isn't a dragon from the original Dragon Abyss. However, the dragon might emanating from he is indeed authentic. Furthermore, it's not inferior to us legendary dragons at all. Even, Blood Cloud hesitated for a moment, but did not say what was on his mind in his perception. The dragon might emitted by the other party was even slightly stronger than him. This meant that the other party's bloodline level was extremely high. Even stronger than him, a legendary dragon. This was completely unbelievable to Blood Cloud. Point one had to know that he was a legendary dragon. Furthermore, he could be ranked in the top 10 among all legendary dragons. He felt that he could look down on all the legendary dragons after becoming a supreme god, even if the yellow gold sacred dragon god, or even the regal dragon appeared. He would not lower his proud head that he could be seen how confident he was in himself. However, in front of this unknown dragon, he actually felt his dragon might being suppressed by it. This was something that the extremely arrogant he was unwilling to admit that in addition, his master and the common people's regal were currently competitors. If he admitted that he might be weaker than the other party in terms of bloodline, wouldn't that increase the other party's morale and destroy his prestige? That was why he didn't say what was on his mind. Lord of 10,000 Evils also sensed that his battle partner seemed to have something else to say, but didn't say it. However, he didn't ask further this moment. Brother Demon Lord, this legendary dragon looks very mighty, Zhou Fight asked. I wonder which legendary dragon it is. This was a very strange place. Zhou Zhou had many legendary dragon bloodlines, but he could not recognize who this legendary dragon was. That was why he could not help but ask. Blood Cloud is a legendary dragon, the Azura evil dragon. Lord of 10,000 evils smiled. Azura evil dragon? Zhou Fight was stunned. Pieces of inherited memories immediately flashed through his mind. Then, he could not help but say in surprise, "Didn't the Azura evil dragon die a long time ago?" That's right. Back then, the Azura evil dragon led a group of dragons to challenge the yellow gold sacred dragon god in an attempt to obtain the position of clan leader. In the end, it was defeated and killed by the yellow gold sacred dragon god. This internal strife of the dragon race is known as the evil dragon chaos. I happened to be a witness to this matter back then. At that time, I felt that I was destined to be bound to Azura evil dragon. So I found Azura evil dragon's corpse in the deepest part of the original dragon abyss and paid a certain price to ask Master God Tier Thanatos to revive Azura evil dragon. The Azura evil dragon recognized me as its master out of gratitude, and it has been my battle partner ever since. He and I have fought together in this ultimate void battleground and advanced to Supreme God together. We have already spent countless years together. Lord of 10,000 evils smiled. He had a wistful expression on his face, as if he was recalling all the experiences he had with Azura evil dragon over the years. Zhou Fight nodded. He did not expect that there would be a follow-up to the evil dragon rebellion. His memory inheritance didn't record this matter. So it could be seen that even this divine being of the yellow gold sacred dragon probably didn't know that Azura evil dragon hadn't truly died back then, and that it had even revived and become Lord of 10,000. Evil's third reserve combat partner, in a wonder Azura evil dragon hadn't appeared after so many years. The dragons had thought that the Azura evil dragon was afraid of the yellow gold sacred dragon. But it turned out that the Azura evil dragon was still alive and well. Brother Common People's Regal, this combat partner of yours is also extraordinary. He doesn't even know my Azura evil dragon. Lord of 10,000 evils was also very curious about the dragon god under Zhou Fight's feet. His divine name is the dragon god of all life. I named him Little Dragon. His background is indeed a little special. He is a treasure rewarded to me by the Supreme Will. He is not a dragon from the Supreme Great Cosmos or the Crimson Great Cosmos, but a dragon from the alternate universe in the ultimate void. Zhou Fight said there was nothing to hide. Ordinary legendary dragons could sense the specialness of the dragon god of all life. It was better to say it directly. Instead of being secretive, they were both Supreme Lord Reserve armies, and it was just a pet. There was no need for them to feel bad over such a small matter. It was not related to the key treasure that the Supreme Lords were fighting for after all. It's actually a dragon from another world from the ultimate void. No wonder. The Lord of 10,000 evils and Azura evil dragon both came to a sudden realization hearing Zhou Fight's explanation. As the leader of the ultimate void battleground, Lord of 10,000 evils naturally knew that there were still great cosmoses like the Supreme Great Cosmos and the Crimson Great Cosmos in the ultimate void. There were even universes that were stronger than these two universes. Brother Common People's Regal, what good luck. The Supreme will actually rewarded you with the dragon god of the another world from the ultimate void. The Lord of 10,000 evils congratulated. Brother Demon Lord, you've guarded the ultimate void battleground for many years. You should know the ultimate void very well, right? Can you tell me about it so that I can broaden my horizons? Zhou Fight asked. He was also very curious about the ultimate void. No problem, no problem. Brother Common People's Regal, you're welcome. Lord of 10,000 evils nodded and said slowly, the ultimate void is a vast and boundless land that encompasses a large number of great cosmoses. It is an infinite territory that truly doesn't exist at the borders of regions, because the ultimate void gave birth to a large number of multiverse civilizations. The ultimate void's world is also very exciting. However, the ultimate void is a very dangerous world after all. Only those who have reached the level of supreme willpower can travel freely in the ultimate void. Only those with strong willpower can protect themselves in the ultimate void. Unless there are more than 10 willpower transcendents attacking one willpower transcendent at the same time, there is basically no need to worry about encountering any danger. That was because the ultimate void has countless experts and treasures. There will occasionally be some experts and treasures that accidentally descend into some great universes in the ultimate void. To be honest, I've been guarding the ultimate void battleground for many years. I've also accidentally obtained many treasures from it. Even though most of the grades are average, the various functions are quite fancy. It's not bad to collect them. A small portion of those treasures are extremely helpful even to us. Brother Common People's Regal, you'll often be in the ultimate void battleground in the future. Why don't you take a stroll around this battlefield in your free time? Perhaps you'll have unexpected gains. I'll give it a try when I have time. Zhou Fight nodded. Then, he thought for a moment and suddenly asked, are there any other universe civilizations in the ultimate void that are stronger than our supreme will and Crimson Overlord? I know what you're worried about, Brother Common People's Regal. The Lord of 10,000 Evils smiled and shook his head. But you don't have to worry. Willpower is the end of all the civilizations in the great cosmos. The upper limit of the ultimate void is here. If I want to pursue a higher level, one have to break through reality and trace back to illusionary. I have to merge reality with illusionary and become an unknown realm. I can't say much. I'm only at Supreme God after all. I don't know much about things at that level. The Lord of 10,000 Evils shook his head, but his eyes revealed his desire. Who didn't want to reach the unknown realm that even the Supreme Will and the Crimson Overlord wanted? Zhou Fight was already deep in thought. This conversation with Lord of 10,000 Evils allowed him to obtain a lot of information that he didn't know before. Break through reality, trace back to illusionary, and complete the fusion of reality and illusionary? Was this the reason why the illusionist clan and the great cosmos had been at war? He thought for a moment and stopped thinking about it. That level was still too far away from him that he had just advanced to the master God tier elementary grade. Even though his combat power was not inferior to that of a supreme god, there was no need for him to explore that unknown realm so early. He might only end up with endless worries. If he wanted to obtain too much, Brother Common Peoples Regal, how about we compete in speed? The Lord of 10,000 Evils looked at the dragon god of all life under Zhou Fight's feet, and the competitive spirit in his heart suddenly rose between the dragon god of the other world and the local dragon god, which was stronger and faster. And while he was at it, he wanted to suppress this competitor's prestige. He broke the 1,000-year record and took back the first city in 1,000 years as soon as this Common People's Regal arrived. He obtained the first victory against the ultimate void race in 1,000 years. It was true that Lord of 10,000 Evils was happy, but it would definitely be a lie to say that he didn't have any ill feelings. Therefore, he only suggested this competition now, hoping to earn back some face for him. I can let Blood Cloud suppress its strength to the level of Master God tier advanced grade. How about we have a little competition? Zhou Fight asked in surprise. Really? The little dragon is extremely adept at speed, so this isn't very fair to Azura Evil Dragon, the Lord of 10,000 Evils. The Azura Evil Dragon. It was red hot. One sentence was enough to make this god's spirit and dragon feel warm. The Azura Evil Dragon was a grade 1 supreme god, and even though it was suppressing its strength, its foundation and experience alone were not something that the dragon god of all life could compare to. Yet, the dragon god of all life actually said that this was unfair to Azura Evil Dragon, the dragon god of the other world. Do you dare to compete? The Azura Evil Dragon spoke in a low voice for the first time. You'll lose. The dragon god of all life glanced at Azura Evil Dragon before speaking. The Azura Evil Dragon was enraged. However, he didn't dare to flare up since his master didn't say anything. When Zhou Fight saw this, he said, let's compete since both our pets are willing. Just treat it as entertainment before the battle. Okay. The Lord of 10,000 Evils immediately replied. He secretly gritted his teeth. He didn't believe that this otherworldly dragon god could be faster than his blood cloud.